Alright, we're back at it again. Welcome to Street Fighter V Trials Volume 2. In this video, we're going to be doing Dhalsim's Trials. If there's a trial that could use some tips, I'll give my best explanations, and I'm just going to cut right to the combos. Alright, starting off with number 1, you're going to have to learn one of the staples for Dhalsim. So one of the things you're going to need to learn here is the instant air teleport. So that's the kind of thing that's going to trip a lot of people up. But if you have a fight stick, you can be a little bit more accurate with it as long as you know what the inputs are supposed to be. So the way that I used to do this is I'm going to hit forward, then I'm going to go down, do a fireball motion, and then go up forward. Now I don't get this sometimes I'm a little bit late, so he'll jump and do something funky like that. So you want to kind of mess with the timing a little bit, at least with the challenge. If you do it correctly, it will highlight on the screen that you did it. So we'll do forward, fireball up, too slow, just like that. So do that a few times. Sometimes I feel like I do it too soon, but I think it'll still work as long as you can get a jumping heavy punch involved. But all I'm doing is I'm doing forward, fireball, and up like that. And then I'm going to hit heavy punch right after on the other side. Okay, and that's all there is to the first part. Now the last part is pretty hard, but the trick to this one is understanding that when you do the yoga flame, you don't actually have to do a full half circle. Like, you don't have to go forward all the way to back. You can actually go down forward and then back. If you're using a fight stick, it's a little easier, especially if you have a square gate. So you get down here. That's all there is to this part here. Now, if you had to do a standing version, which I don't even know if that would work. It used to be if you would do like something like that, which might be in a later combo. I'm surprised this one's on the number 1, but there'll be different ways of doing it. But the crouching heavy punch is probably the easiest way to do it. So just pull all that together, then you'll be able to get past this one, and then you'll be prepared to do the rest of these. Alright, number 4 can be a little bit of a pain. So what you have to do here is you gotta find that sweet distance for that medium fireball like this. So once that's in the air, you're gonna head down forward, medium kick to slide, and you're gonna kick him into that fireball. That fireball will actually be the second hit, and then you'll be able to hit with the crouching heavy punch, and then you can do that move into the yoga flame, which we can already do up to this point. Pretty easy. Like I said, as long as you didn't skip it, down forward, then all the way back. You don't have to do the full half circle. So finding that sweet spot is sort of like wherever you think that it just misses them, and then you want to be able to be close enough to knock them into it. And if you're hitting down forward the whole time, then you don't have to worry about accidentally getting this move, or like maybe a different kind of punch move or something. I guess for the punch it doesn't matter, but for the kick you need to be down forward. But since you want to prime up for the fireball, down forward is the way to go as soon as you go in with this medium kick slide. It's going to take you a couple times to string it all together. That's the tip that you're going to want to try to do. Alright, so number 5 isn't really too bad. The thing is, when you have your in the air down kick, this is like your sort of like your dive kick. Depending on whether you're hitting light, medium, or heavy, he's got different angles. So wherever you decide to do it, just keep in mind that you want to hit as low as possible. So maybe you figure out you're more comfortable doing it right here. Maybe you can do this like that. Then you're just doing light punch, light kick. We gotta do standing light kicks. You have to do this, and then you have to cancel that into the EX yoga flame. You just got to do it fast. There's really no trick to it. Just do that a few times. You should be able to get that out. And then it's just a matter of comboing into that from whichever angle you choose with the dive kick. If you want to do it straight from the start, then you could just jump up and then do it from here. That was kind of too high though. So you can just kind of experiment, and I'm doing the light kick version, and that will reach in case you don't want to try to find a better way. You can just practice that. Alright, so number 6 is a really tricky one. You got a couple different things going on here. First off, to start it off, you want to hit Ryu when he's about 45 degrees up from you, from like right here. So when you do this, you want to cancel that move here into the EX fireball. Well, what you'll see is he'll bounce off the fireball, same fireball twice. 1, 2. Now what you need to do while that's happening is you need to transport to the other side. Not only that, it has to be air transport, and you have to do a yoga flame in the air before it comes out. So it's all going to be in one motion. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at that. But the thing is, you're going to have to realize is that when you do your teleport, you're going to be on the other side. So when you're on the other side, you have to think to yourself, okay, which direction do I need to be? So back to forward, but in this case it's forward to back. So it's going to happen real fast. Not only that, to add to the difficulty, you can actually do this too fast and be too low to the ground, and the fireball or the yoga flame, the air yoga flame, you'll hear the sound, you won't see it, and it actually won't connect. So you kind of have this problem of trying to combine everything in just the right conditions. See, I was able to do it there. That was actually the second or third time I've ever even done that. But that's what you want to do. It's really hard. Everything's going to be done fast. It's going to take you a ton of tries. But as long as you know what you're supposed to be doing, give it enough tries, you should be able to get past this one at some point. Just got to get the proper 1, 2 like that, and just try to time in everything else. And hopefully you can get this one. Really tricky. Alright, number 7. This one is really tricky. First off, when you do the back heavy punch for a counter, in order to cancel that into the fireball, you have to wait and hesitate just a little bit. You can't do it real fast like that. You have to wait like this. Sometimes I double tap it just because I do it too soon and it doesn't come out. And make sure you're canceling the animation of the back heavy punch, but you're not doing it too soon. So you got to figure out the timing on that. Then it's pretty easy to do the EX follow-up, where that will continue to juggle him and get him up in the air. Now the last part is what's tricky. Like, I had thought that I could just do an instant air yoga flame, so forward, half circle back, and then up forward like this. But for some reason, I think that he moves forward too much because the hitbox isn't touching him, and I've done it like 30 times and it doesn't combo. So what I actually realized, which probably is better, is we should just do up first and then do half circle back, but really fast, like this. You still get about the same height. The difference is you're more likely to hit because you're going to be straight up and the hitbox is going to be a little bit closer in. So that's going to be the ticket for this one, but it's got to be instant. Whether you do up and then all the way back for like a whatever that is, 270, like this, all the way back, or if you just want to tap up and do the half circle back, whatever's comfortable for you, but it's got to be really, really low. As you can tell, it's actually not as easy as it looks. Kind of like that. So that's the trick to this one. You're going to want to get that done as quick as possible, and don't do the motion first and then try to do the up after the yoga fire, because it's gonna move him around and the hip, it's just never gonna hit. Alright, number 8's pretty self-explanatory. So just like before, you want to kind of hit him at the 45-degree angle, like right there. And what you're doing is you're gonna cancel and land a yoga flame. just like before, but now you have to buffer down forward, double fireball into the super, which isn't too hard to do as long as you're waiting for it. As soon as you get the Yoga Flame, that's when you're doing down forward, because by the time it hits, you're going to be ready to go and you're just going to cancel that into the super. Alright, number 9 shouldn't be too bad. We kind of already did this already. The difference is we're going to be comboing from the standing medium into the EX. Now, I notice whenever this doesn't come out, when I look at my inputs, I notice it's never clean. So if you look near Ryu's belt, you can see the double punch, you can see forward, back, kick. It's all over the place. And of course, that's not actually what you want. You got to make sure that you're getting that smooth motion so that the move can come out. It's got to have all the inputs. If you start going back and forth, I mean, you might be able to get it out if you hit enough directions. That's usually the problem. So with this one, again, you might be able to do the instant air one where you go half circle and forward, which I still can't seem to do. There we go. But you can still do it this way, and I recommend doing this. It's a little bit easier. But if you're a Dhalsim main or a pro, then you can do whichever way you want to. But the way I'm going to be doing is hitting up first and then the EX fireball, just like we did in the other trial, and that will get this one done. Alright, we made it to number 10. Hopefully you did too. If you were liking these videos, please leave me a comment. Show me some support instead of the usual spammer links I gotta delete. Give me a like. And let's move it on. So with this one here, we got a bunch of different things to do, sort of what we've already done, but a little twist on some things. So just like in trial number 1, you have the instant air with the jumping, with the heavy punch on the way down. Let's try that again. Alright, so that's the first part. Now what we're doing is combining. Instead of doing the crouching heavy punch like in the first trial, we're actually doing back and medium kick, just like we did before. So what you're doing from here is you want to do a fireball. Now the easiest way to do this is just to go ahead and do a whole circle forward, or a half circle forward from this here. It comes out pretty good. And you don't have to like do this and then try to do a fireball. Just do the full half circle. And then from there you have to cancel that fireball into a super. Now, there's 2 different ways you could do it, just like with anybody else who has a fireball into super. You can try to minimize the input by doing like something like this, where you're just doing a fireball and then do a fireball motion again. But you have to get it out pretty fast. But the thing is, when you're going from this to there, there's a lot of time in between this medium kick and your fireball. So you really can't do 1-2 really fast because it's messing up the timing of when the fireball actually hits. So what you need to do, as soon as you do this forward, you want to do immediately 1-2 for the super. So you're doing 3. You can try that on whichever side you feel comfortable with. So I basically did 3 fireball motions in order to cancel that. But you want to do that on this side, obviously. We'll try that over here, like this, and then Yoga Flame. You have to hit Yoga Flame after. I don't really know what the timing is for that, so let's try that on its own. Okay, so I was able to land it because basically when you think he's not recovering, he's actually already recovered, and I'm sort of buffering the Yoga Flame just near the end of the animation. And then you just double tap, and then try to get him with that little last hit at the end. And that's basically all there is to this one. It's really not too bad. If you're having trouble with the fireball into super, just like I said, do the fireball and then 1-2 super. So in this case, it's hard because I'm doing it straight from the fireball, but that's what you're going to want to do. And get that a couple times, and this one shouldn't be too bad. As long as you can still do the instant teleport into heavy punch, you should be ready to go on this one. Alright, that's going to do it for Dhalsim's trials. They're a little harder than I wanted, but it's kind of to be expected with Dhalsim. Is a little awkward. Hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. And thanks for watching.